Welcome to the Free to Soar podcast. My mission is to inspire, empower, and equip heart-centered, mission-driven, kingdom-minded business owners to show up freely and fully as the brilliant, powerful change makers that you are, so that you can lead the business and the life of your dreams. You'll enjoy vulnerable, authentic conversations with me and other heart-centered, mission-driven leaders that will spark your heart and ignite your passion to powerfully transform you, your business, and your life from the inside out. Your next level of impact and income is about unleashing the fullness of you, reprogramming your limiting beliefs and patterns, tapping into and trusting your inner wisdom, and harnessing God's power within you so that you can unlock new possibilities in your business and your life. And this show brings it to you. Step with me into a God-powered reality wilder than your wildest dreams, with freedom, impact, abundance, and enjoyment that you were created for. Let's go. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Free to Soar podcast. I'm Connie Jones, your host, and I'm so glad that you've joined me today. I'm going to talk about something that is really near and dear to my heart today. I'm calling it the 5 key aspects of wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners, which is what I'm all about, is business leaders leading and living wholehearted and healthy so that you can enjoy the greatest amount of aligned success. And I'll talk more about that and what I mean by that in just a few minutes as we dive into this topic. But I want to talk about why this is important before we dive all the way in. And it's important because we're actually in business in the first place. And I want you to really think about this and really take this in, breathe this in. We're in business in the first place to share our gifts and to live our purpose. So we're in business for purpose and passion. The second reason why we're in business is to make an impact, to help others be their best self and make the world a better place. And we do that when we make the impact, the greatest impact, when we are sharing our gifts and living our purpose. And that's when we are most passionate about the things that we're doing and making the greatest difference in people's lives. And that's why we started our business. The other reason we started our business, or that we go into business, is because it's fun, because it's enjoyable, and we have more meaning when we're doing what we were created to do. And also, finally, for freedom. Not only time freedom, which is so important to us entrepreneurs, but financial freedom. We want to be able to spend time doing things in the ways that we want to be doing them, doing what we want to do, taking care of ourselves, being with our family, doing the things that matter most to us, and using our gifts in a way that brings joy to us and allows us to have that freedom in our lives. And so I want you to think about, if any one of those is missing in your business, then we need to make some shifts, because that's why we're in business in the first place. And instead of what I see so many times is, instead of people being in sync with their why and aligned with purpose and impact and meaning and joy and freedom, they're stuck in struggle, striving, and surviving in their business every day. They're in the overwork, the overwhelm, they're overburdened with over responsibility. And that's no way to continue living. That is no way. That's not sustainable. And it's depleting, it's exhausting. It leads to burnout and frustration. And when we're in that place in our business isn't working for us. We are working really, really hard for our business. And that's not the way it was designed to be. That's not why we're in business. So many of us, as doers and high achievers and performers, I know I am, and I struggled with this too. We believe that working harder, working longer, and doing more are the keys to success. And we don't set ourselves up for freedom and for sustainable growth in our business in the first place. And so we do try to work harder, work longer. We try to outwork our business, I say. And that just doesn't work. Instead of seeing the freedom that we want and making the impact that we want, we stagnate in our business and we get stuck in what we think we have to do and what we know to do and what so and so does, what we see others doing, or what we're told to do by all the strategies and formulas for success. And we get stuck in that urgency and the reactivity of the day and doing all the things. And it feels productive, but what it actually does is it just calms our anxiety, or it calms our anxiety very temporarily, but it keeps that anxiety going. It's not really productive. It's actually taking a toll on us, and it's limiting the growth and the success of our business. We're convincing ourselves that it's productive because doing and achieving feels productive, but oftentimes we're not doing the things that we really need to be doing that's moving the needle forward, that are most important in our business to get us the freedom and to make the greatest impact and to have the greatest amount of success that we need to do. So we're just doing. And what we don't realize is that we're undoing all of our, we're undoing the things that are really important in moving forward in our business by all of our doing. And so it's really taken a toll. It's taken a toll on the growth and success of our business. It's taking a toll on our joy and our freedom and our health in many cases. And most business owners I see are dysregulated, they're depleted, and they're diluted. It's impacting their health, their happiness, their quality of life, the health, the growth, and the success of their business. And I want you to hear this. The cure for our exhaustion and our overwork and our overwhelm isn't just resting. Because what happens when we just rest and we go back and we create the same pattern over and over, and we stay in the same old pattern and the habits of just, keep doing and overwork and overwhelm, is we're going to just perpetuate the exhaustion. The cure for exhaustion isn't just rest. Rest is important, but the cure for exhaustion really is wholeheartedness. Let me say that again. The cure for exhaustion is not just rest. The cure for exhaustion is wholeheartedness. And let's talk about what wholeheartedness really is. Wholeheartedness, um, Wholeheartedness is being in alignment with your values and your desires. It's being in true alignment with what really matters to you. It's about being a whole person, your heart being whole, not fragmented by your emotional wounds or your painful traumatic experiences that we all have. That's why it's so important that we're doing the inner work to grow and heal, so that we're not fragmented by those emotional wounds and we're not seeing through filters of our wounds and our traumatic experiences. So we can show up wholeheartedly. It's about being in full integrity, where the inside matches the outside. So whatever we're saying yes to is what we really want to be spending our time and energy on inside. What we're saying no to, we're in full integrity with. What we're allowing in our lives and our businesses, we're in full integrity with. We're not just tolerating things we're not okay with. It's about really knowing what a full body yes is versus saying yes resentfully. It's about really setting boundaries. It's about doing things and making decisions that are congruent with who we are and our values and what really matters. So I want to ask you, how are you not showing up wholeheartedly in your life and your business right now? Where are you out of integrity? Where are you out of integrity with yourself? I mean, what are you really saying yes to that you really want to say no to? What are you tolerating that you're not really okay with? Where are you not whole because you're reacting out of some woundedness or some fear-based or survival patterns? Where are you, that aren't working for you? Where are you out of alignment with values things that matter the most to you? Just think about that and don't judge it, but just think about what would it look like and feel like for you to be wholehearted in your living and in your leadership, in your business and your life. Just think about it. And I would just encourage you to take one step to move in that direction. Now, we talked about, I gave you three adjectives at the beginning, the 5 key aspects for wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners. So we talked about what wholeheartedness means. Now we're going to talk about what healthy business owners mean. Being a healthy business owner. So, being a healthy business owner means that you're healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Think about that you have well being in all of those areas. If you're mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually well, you're not in dis-ease. You're not diseased. And yes, we're going to have stress. Yes, we're going to have things happen, but we're talking about an overall state of being most of the day, most of the time. That's healthy. It's managed, minimized stress and a regulated, resourced nervous system. Imagine that. Feel what that would feel like. Or maybe you do have that. And if you do, that's incredible. Being healthy is also scheduling in time for self-care and wellness and for fun and enjoyment. Are you truly healthy? Do you have mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being? Are you not diseased? Are you managing, minimizing your stress? And do you have a regulated resource nervous system where you're not in fight or flight or fear or reactivity or urgency or overwhelm all the time? Do you schedule in time regularly for self care and wellness and enjoyment and soul nourishment? And ask you a question. What does the healthiest version of you look and feel like as the leader of your life and your business? And what needs to shift? Where are you in dis-ease internally in your life and your business right now? And if that could begin to shift just in one small way, what would that shift look like? Now, let's talk about the third adjective, the adjective of success. So we've covered wholeheartedness, healthiness, or health, and success. Success is, are you really clear about your own personal definition of what success is? And I want to ask you, what does success look and feel like for a wholehearted, healthy you? Success for a unhealthy, half-hearted you may look very different than success for a wholehearted, healthy you. I know that my definition of success allows me to be the wholehearted, healthiest version of me and enjoy full alignment, congruency, and enjoyment and freedom in my business, in addition to thriving, prosperous growth and success. That's my definition. Most people, success comes at the cost of your health, your happiness, your purpose, your family, your values, your true desires. And our health and our happiness doesn't have to cost us success. And our success doesn't have to cost us the things that matter most to us. What we got to be clear about and honest with ourselves about is what is true success and what is really most important, and what is our success coming at the cost of that we don't want it to continue to come at the cost of. And then we've got to have a great strategy once we understand what that success looks like. We've got to have a great strategy about what we want to build, what we really want to build and create in our business that allows us to have wholehearted, healthy success. So now that we've clarified what those three adjectives are, let's talk about, and you're really starting to kind of take an assessment of where you are with those three adjectives and what needs to shift. Again, not judgment and condemnation, just assessing and being curious about how could this begin to change. Let's talk about the five aspects of being a wholehearted, healthy, successful business owner. And the first aspect of being a wholehearted, healthy business owner is being in alignment with your values and your desires. I talked about that in being wholehearted, is that it's being in alignment. Alignment is spending your time and your energy in ways that matter to you. The ways that you spend your time, your energy, and I'll even add your resources that matter to you is true alignment. And alignment is so important because when you're in alignment, you are most magnetic, you're most powerful, you're happiest, you're healthiest, and everybody and everything it responds to you in the way that it's supposed to because you're being your most authentic, aligned self. When we're not in alignment, we're creating resistance and we're going to be in dis-ease and we're going to be frustrated. And it's not going to produce the outcomes that we want in our life and our business when we're out of alignment with ourselves. Business owners come to me all the time with anxiety, stress, help, the struggles of every kind, not enjoying their work, struggles in their personal lives and their relationships, not living the life they want. They don't have time for the things that matter. Their practice or their business is successful in some cases, but it's not fun or enjoyable anymore. And they don't have the freedom that they want. Maybe they're tired of carrying the burden and doing all the doing and playing all the roles and working too much and not making enough. And it's just not aligned with what they really want. And their business is just not working for them, and neither is their life. And I know because I was there several years ago, actually about 12 years ago. I had a successful counseling practice. I was making multiple six figures, but I felt stuck and imprisoned with the work that I was doing. I was given to and taking care of everybody else at my own expense. I wasn't it wasn't profiting for me, and I wasn't thriving. The business was profiting, but it was coming at a cost to me. Relationships, my health were suffering, no energy for what I wanted to be doing, no time to take care of me like I wanted, or enjoy life, or have any fun, or work on the business. I didn't have time for relationships that I wanted. Um, I didn't have time to, like I said, work on the business and really build the business and move it in the direction that I wanted to, that I felt led, and do the work in the way that I wanted to. Every day just felt like this washing machine of rinse and repeat. It's the same old cycle. And it was exhausting. And I did hit burnout and breakdown. Because, like I said, when we are in alignment with our values and in full integrity with ourselves, we will unlock new ease, enjoyment, flow, and possibility. But if we're out of alignment, we are stuck, we're stagnant, and we're blocking flow and ease and enjoyment in our business and our lives, and oftentimes in our health and our relationships. And in my coaching, that's one of the first things that I do is help you define what's really important to you. Do you know what your values are? Do you know what really matters to you? And is your life and your business, are they developed and built with your values or in alignment with your values? Are you really being congruent in the way that you're living and leading? That's the first shift that needs to happen. So ask yourself, if I am out of alignment, where am I out of alignment? And what's one step I could take? We don't have to fix the whole thing today. We don't have to uproot it and totally, destroy it and start again. We just got to move and make small little shifts. Where am I out of alignment? And what's one step I could move or take to move into more alignment today? If my business was in full alignment, how would it shift? And how about my life? How would it shift? The thing that I see is that many business owners don't even really know what they want. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they're working towards. And they really don't have an exit strategy. They don't know what they're wanting as the end goal. So they're just working hard and harder, and they're trying to, again, outwork their business, and it just doesn't work for them. So we've got to stop that and begin to make those small little shifts. What's one shift you could make to move more into alignment today with your values and your desires? Truly, if you're honest with yourself. All right, the second aspect. Aspect number 2 of healthy, wholehearted, successful business owners. You ready for this? All right, it's about being the visionary CEO, not the employee of your business. Aspect number 2, the aspect of wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners is that they are the visionary CEO of their business. They are not the employees. Because when you're being the CEO of your business, you are creating a freedom-based business. You're creating a business that has unlimited potential to grow. You're expanding your capacity. But when you aren't being the visionary CEO of your business, you're the cog in the wheel. You're creating the bottleneck. And a business with a bottleneck, especially with the leader as the bottleneck, is a frustrating business, and it's a stagnating business. Our business can only grow to the level or at the level that we give it capacity to grow. And if we're limiting its capacity by staying limited in our capacity about what we can do, then it's going to stagnate. So let me tell you about a story about a client that I had. He came to me 2 million in revenue. Now I coach clients at every level of business. I have startups. Some startups. I have some people in low six figures, and I have some people in mid six figures. I have some in sevens and some in eights. This client came to me in the seven figures, low seven figures. He was 2 million in revenue, but he was in his business on the daily. He was working 6 days a week, 14-hour days, no time for his family, no time to do things that he really wanted to do. He felt like he was babysitting a lot with his team. um, he felt like all of it was on his shoulders and it all had to run he had to run it all. Um, and it was just frustrating. He was burned out. He was like, I don't, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not fun. This was not the way it was supposed to be. Success again was coming at the cost of his health, his happiness, and his relationships, and his joy and his freedom. Well, what we did over the year that I worked with him, we developed his team. He managed delivering. He learned how to split time at learning how to deliver to his clients, deliver the service to his clients, and also begin to develop his team and coach his team. He found his number two person, and that can look different for everybody. This was his personal strategy based on what he wanted to create. He found his number two person. Not everybody has a number two person. Sometimes it's several people, but sometimes it's finding that number two person. But what was keeping him from finding that number two person was his own mindset, because what was actually going on was he still needed to be needed by his business. And he had to take a look at that and be willing to let that go for his business to move forward and for that person to come in who could take it over for him. So it looks different for everybody. I do personalized strategy based on what you in particular individually want to create for your business and what's the best way to create that. But after we did these things, after we, worked on his mindset, developed his team, set some boundaries with his time, got really clear about what was in his zone of genius, what he needed to be doing, how could he begin to work on the business and set aside time to do that every week, and then begin to delegate to his people who he coached to learn how to do more of what he needed them to do. He began to have more of his time back. And he now, at a couple of years later, he's 15 million in revenue. He comes in to his appointment saying he's headed out on Wednesday for long weekends at the lake. He is working out. He's off all of his medication. He's in the best shape of his life, and his marriage is great. He has time to travel and enjoy his family, and his business is thriving and profitable, and it's fun again for him. And those are the kinds of stories that I love to walk people through, to help people have that reality, because it doesn't need to stay miserable and stuck and stagnant and overwhelmed. That's just not our portion. And so no matter your revenue level, look at where your time is spent. Look at, are you focused on all the 95% of everything that needs to be done that someone else could be doing? Or are you really only doing the 5% that only you can do that will move the needle forward? And if you're doing that 95%, are you really convincing yourself that it's productive for you to continue to do that? Because maybe you feel like you do it better, or because it's cheaper for you to do, or because it's faster for you to just do it yourself. What is that 5% that only you can do? What are those shifts that need to be made? And maybe, it's not for you to figure it all out. It's not for you. And when we're in it, it's so hard to see outside and see how to get out of it. And that's where we need a wise guide, a wise advisor, and a coach, and someone who can help us create some strategy and set our business up for success in a way that is sustainable and freedom given. And so today, I want you to ask yourself, how am I bottlenecking my business? And where are three places? And maybe if three places is overwhelming, just start with one place. What's one place where you're not being the visionary in your business? And if you could be, how would it shift for you? Don't worry about the how. Just worry about, no, don't even worry about it. Just focus on what would it need to shift for me to be the visionary CEO? And let's start there. And then reach out, and I'm happy to do a call with you to talk through, how would we create this? How would we make this your reality? And where would we start? All right. So just think about that shift. Aspect number 3 of wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners. The third aspect is clearing your internal blocks so that you can evolve and elevate. I can't talk. Elevate. That's a new word. Don't you like that better? That sounds good. So the aspect number 3 is that wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners evolve and elevate by doing the internal work to clear the blocks that are keeping them stuck. Let me say this. You are the number one constraint in your business. You just are. That doesn't make you bad. Does it make you a bad leader? It's just reality. We all are the number one constraint in our business, and we have to figure out how to get out of our own way. We are limited by our beliefs. We are limited by our patterns, and we're limited by our programming that is running us. From age 0 to 7, and even all the way up to 14, that it's really age 0 to 7 that our subconscious mind is programmed, but it goes on through age 14, and that's when it gets habituated and continues to be programmed and internalized. That our subconscious mind is programmed, and our subconscious mind runs our life on autopilot. 95% of the reality of your life is programmed and run daily by your subconscious mind, and you're not even aware of it. It's your subconscious programming and habits and patterns that you learn from your experiences from 0 to 7 years old. So you've got a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old, and in some cases, running your life every day from the patterns and the programs mentally and the emotions that are created from those mental patterns and those habitual patterns, those behavior patterns. Your current circumstances in your life right now and in your business are a mirror of what you believe and of the patterns of behavior that you demonstrate on a daily basis. Everything you look or you took in your subconscious brain, everything from 0 to 7 and even up to 14 that you took in your subconscious brain is what you're still continuing to loop out and manifest today, to realize. Any trauma, any painful experiences, any modeling you had, whatever upbringing you had, any messaging you had about your worth, it is all looping and it is all manifesting in your reality today. You do not manifest from your conscious mind. You do not create your reality currently from your conscious mind. You create it from your subconscious programming, from all the autopilot programming that you learned that has been internalized and habituated. And if we want change, we've got to recognize the patterns, the programs, and the beliefs that are running us. And we've got to reprogram those and repattern those. And that takes working on our subconscious to repattern and reprogram. That takes working on our nervous system to repattern and reprogram. And it takes working on our habits, our behavior patterns to pattern and reprogram, and understanding how we think, how we feel, how we act, and how we respond to things and why we do. And we can't do that on our own. That takes really beginning to recognize and evaluate and assess our blocks, our blind spots, the things that we can't even see for ourselves. Why the same patterns keep coming up for us? Why do we feel stuck in that certain area? And why are we continuing to react to those same limiting survival patterns? We get something out of them. The survival patterns that we learned long ago that have been internalized and habituated are perpetuated because they work for us in some ways. They allow us to survive and they've allowed us to succeed at a certain point. But they're not allowing us to thrive at this point. And so if we want to change something, if we want to see change in our lives, and in our businesses, then we've got to repattern and reprogram them. But before we can do that, we've got to recognize what they are. We've got to really stop long enough and really see what's causing this, what's running us, what's running our business, what's causing us to see the same old things over and over and over, and work on our subconscious, our nervous system, and our habits. Let me share some of these in particular so you can identify more about what I'm talking about, um, and see if any of these sound familiar. Maybe you've learned how to people please. Maybe you learned how to caretake your clients or your employees or other people in your lives. Maybe you've learned how to be over responsible, and that's a survival pattern for you, and it works really well for you. Maybe you've learned how to be hyper independent because you had nobody you could trust, because nobody came through for you. Maybe you've learned perfectionism as a way of feeling safe and determining your worth. Maybe you've learned performance based living and leading. Maybe everything is about performing and getting it right. Maybe you've got old money programs and stories, possibly imposter syndrome. I know we all have that self-doubt that comes in, or the inner critic. What about anxiety? Where does that come from? Programming, overdoing, being a doer, doing it all, getting it all done, being so productive. Maybe, on the other hand, procrastinating, struggling with boundaries, avoiding conflict, not having hard conversations, not doing hard things, not knowing how to be assertive, having self management struggles, managing yourself struggles, powerlessness, believing I can't or I have to keep doing this or it won't happen for me and because of some reason, feeling unworthy of having what we really want, and struggling with our worthiness so that we self sabotage and we don't even realize that we're sabotaging things. How about that? Or we're blocking something or resisting something that we say we want and we don't understand why we can't have it. Here's what I want you to know, that everything that we want is at a next level of worthiness. And that if we don't have what we want because we just we haven't embraced and elevated our frequency inside of us to another level of worthiness, we don't realize just how worthy we really are. And so we don't know how to receive all that is ours, our full inheritance. God's plan is to bring us back into our whole, worthy, authentic selves that we were born as, that He created us as. We're already whole. We're not broken, and we don't have to fix ourselves. It is not about being broken and fixing yourself. You're just running on outdated or ineffective programming that can be upgraded. It's just about pulling the layers off that aren't your authentic best you, that He didn't create you as, but your programming programmed you for, that isn't working for you. It's got a payoff to it. It works for you. You get a payoff. It feels like it's being productive in some ways. You get something out of it, but it's not allowing you to thrive and expand in the next elevation and evolution of you. And it's not allowing you to have the next evolution of your business. So what I help clients do through an inner process, through neuroplasticity, is peeling back the layers and reconnecting to our true authentic self, and to begin to increase their understanding of their worthiness and embrace that worthiness and elevate their worthiness at the next level so that they can receive all that God has for them, so that they can reprogram their subconscious and reprogram their nervous system and begin to live in the place of thriving rather than struggling, striving, and surviving. And so I want you to just start right now. Just make this tiny little step by seeing everything in your life, from people to opportunities to experiences to obstacles, not as things happening to you, but as opportunities for growth and for unblocking, opportunities to evolve, opportunities to grow and develop as the next evolution of you. And I want you to just begin to shift this today by asking yourself this question, or these questions. There's two questions. What limiting thoughts or patterns are hindering you from the next level of freedom, success, and joy in your business and your life? And then secondly, where do you need to expand and deepen your ownership of your worthiness so that God can give you more of what He has for you, so that you can feel worthy of receiving it and learn how to open to it and receive it? Ponder those questions. Again, no judgment, just be curious. Now let's go to aspect number 4. Aspect number 4 of wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners is that wholehearted, successful, healthy business owners create effective structures and systems so their businesses can run for them instead of their businesses running them. Strategy, structure, and systems produce sustainable growth. So business can be a revenue machine that is thriving and profitable. And it all starts with having clear vision about what you really want. You can't build what you want unless you first see what you want. Our imagination is really powerful. We can't create what we can't see. So we got to have clear vision about what we really want. Most people don't even know. They're just working hard every day and they don't know what they're trying to create. And once we have clear vision, we can then create aligned, effective strategy and structure to create sustainable growth and sustainable success in our businesses. So I want to ask you, are you working for your business? Are you working so much in your business? You know how to do what you do well, and you're probably a competent expert in what you're great at. But there's a difference in being a competent expert and becoming an empowered, confident, visionary CEO who's building a thriving, profitable business that's sustainable and growth focused. And strategy, structure, and systems allow that to happen. They're really important so that businesses can grow and be sustainable and be thriving and be profitable. And it's important that we delegate to experts who specialize in helping us create the strategy, the structure, and the systems that we need in our business. It's not for us to be able to, that's not our job to be able to create all of that. We just need good people who can, and a good, wise advisor who can help us understand what it is, where the gaps are, and what are we needing to close those gaps to have that business. If we don't have effective structure and systems and strategy, then we are going to be working way too hard, and we're going to be always feeling like we're working to sell over and over and over. We need things like marketing strategy, and we need to put it into place. We need business financials and strategy for our business finances. We need team development. We need to spend time on team development intentionally and create high-performing teams that are bought in. We need ideal customer experiences and have a system for that so we're excellent and consistent in our service no matter who's delivering it. We need an effective sales process so your client will say yes, and you can run that system over and over and over like clockwork and feel confident in it. We need to develop lead generation processes so we can attract and engage our ideal clients and customers and keep that pipeline full. We need to grow and maximize these processes for optimization and further growth and expansion and effectiveness. With your business no longer dependent on you as you have these systems and structures, you can decide exactly what you want to do with your business, the role you want to play in your business, and the role it will play in your life rather than it running you. Doesn't that sound nice? That can be your reality. And here's how you begin to shift it today, other than I'd love to help you with this. So contact me and we can schedule a discovery call and talk about where are the gaps. You don't even have to know the answers. That's my job. Or, someone who has the answers. That's not for you to all figure out. You're the visionary CEO. You just have to have the vision. And you might even need help with clarifying your vision. And that's okay too. We don't have to be the lone wolf doing all this ourselves. We're not created to. But in order to begin to shift it today, ask yourself these 2 questions. Is your business structure and strategy leading to sustainable, scalable revenue and profitability? And what business system can you just start with that will shift it in the positive direction if you change one thing? All right, aspect number 5, the 5th and final one. Wholehearted, healthy, successful business owners are ever evolving. You are evolving as the leader of your business, and your business is evolving as the business itself. Our business and us need to constantly be evolving because as we're constantly evolving, we stay competitive, we stay relevant to our customers' needs, we ensure ongoing growth, we elevate, we expand our capacity, we continually innovate, and we improve our growth, our capacity, our development, and our offerings of our business. And it's important that our business evolve with our new desires and our new growth and our new development. As we are growing, we are not the same person. We are going to constantly be having to look at, okay, what's in alignment for this new me? What is this new evolution of my business that is aligned with the new evolution of me as I grow? So, two questions to ask yourself to begin to shift that today is, what is the next evolution of you as the leader of your business? What does that evolved leader look like? How does he or she lead your business differently? How does he or she show up? And then what one area of your business would you evolve to be more in alignment with the evolution of you? If you had time to look at that, to focus on that, to shift that. What one area of your business would you evolve if you had time? I want you to just spend some time with yourself. Go back and listen again. Listen to these questions, write them down, spend some time journaling about them, and spend some time with your business. You know, your business is a living, breathing entity, and it will talk to you. It will tell you what it needs. It will give you have access to that wise guidance within you. It's about learning how to trust that wisdom within your instincts and your intuition. Who are you as the wholehearted, healthy, successful leader of your business? And how do you, as that you, lead your business? What business are you leading as the wholehearted, healthy, successful leader? What would shift for you? And again, we don't have to completely change it, just tiny little shifts to move closer to it. And then look at, where do you need support and guidance in your process? Where do you need more buy-in from your team? Where do you need answers from somebody outside of you that you can't see for yourself? Because again, you weren't meant to do it alone. Imagine if you had support around all these areas all the time and you had a trusted advisor and you were free and empowered to really build the business that you want in alignment with your values. So your time and energy and your resources were spent in ways that are moving the needle forward towards creating what you really want. And you could have a business that allows you the space to do what's most important to you. And you could have a thriving, profitable, sustainable, growing, evolving business. And you had a clear plan and vision and strategy that you implement with ease and enjoyment as you feel supported and as you feel clear and as you feel regulated and resourced and empowered. And you're enjoying your work and your life, and it's working for you too. In my coaching, we dig into the sweet spot where inner work meets business strategy. It's that inner work and clearing those blocks and those blind spots, and then evolving and developing and growing you as the leader, elevating your leadership, elevating your personal growth, also creating business strategy and structure and systems that are aligned and effective and next level. So you can release the tensions of the hustle and the grind. So you can get exactly where you want to be, where your heart is leading you, where your mind wants to go. So you can begin to look at your business and your life through the lens of evolution. So everything becomes possible. More joy and freedom, expanded impact, next level profits, an enjoyable life. I coach business owners and business leaders holistically with no stone unturned. And so that you can begin to start living and leading as the wholehearted, healthy, successful business owner who is rewarded for being you. So I want you to just spend just a couple minutes and close your eyes. And if you're not sitting down, if you can sit down, I want you to just sit down and feel supported for just a moment. If you can't, you can come back to this and do it later, or you can just be right where you are and just maybe feel the support of the ground underneath your feet. And I want you to just relax your brow, relax your jaw, open your throat, unbrace your belly, release your shoulders away from your ears, and breathe deeply into your belly as you feel the support underneath you or behind you at the back of your body. And allow your breathing to bring all the scattered pieces of you back in from wherever you've scattered and left pieces of you. And just imagine yourself living and leading as the wholehearted, healthy, successful business owner. See your business. See how you show up. See how you lead. See how you enjoy it. Notice the freedom that you have. Notice what it feels like to lead as the business owner who is rewarded for being you. See what your heart wants you to know about what shifts are most important that will move you in the direction you want to go, into more alignment, more joy, more freedom. And if you want to schedule that call so that we can identify the gaps and close them. And if this has impacted you and you resonate with the, some of the things, some of the wisdom in here, some of the game-changing things that I shared in this podcast today, I hope that you'll share it with someone that you know needs it. Someone you love, someone you care about, someone you know who wants to go to the next level in their business, who wants the next evolution of their business, who wants to thrive and prosper like never before. And I hope that you'll make the commitment to yourself to stop the struggle, the striving, and the surviving, and begin to honor the you that is wholehearted, healthy, and successful, and show up as that business owner and lead the business that lights your heart on fire. The world needs what you have in you. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Free to Soar Podcast. Thanks for joining me today on the Free to Soar Podcast, where we empower and equip you to lead the business and the life of your dreams with freedom, impact, enjoyment, and abundance. I look forward to our next episode together, and I invite you to subscribe to be notified of new episodes as they are released. Please share this or your favorite episode with a friend or a loved one, and I'd love it if you'd leave a review on iTunes and Spotify.